Okay guys, so I'm back once again, going to be talking today about AJ Styles in the WWE and a little bit of my history with this, character in wrestling and why I literally, fell in love with what he does in the ring. So it's going to take a little bit of a backstory going all the way back to WCW and, of course, ECW, WWF back in the day. I was always a fan of the littler guys, I was always a fan of the cruiserweights and the mid-carders. They just appealed to me more. Don't get me wrong, I loved my Dwayne The Rock Johnsons and Austins and all those guys were great, but something about these little guys who would just go out there and show everything they could every week just appealed to me. And when WCW finished, I was disappointed, but there was a glimmer of hope with TNA. And but I remember my friend Matt and I would wake up always to watch. Early in the mornings would watch what was the old WWF show they used to be? It wasn't Heat Wave or anything like that. I can't remember what the morning show was on Saturdays, I think. And then of course we would be the most hyped for Sundays where it was Heat and Velocity. We used to watch that religiously. I still have VHSs of that stuff because it included all our favorite superstars. Like I said, Shannon Moore was there wrestling every week. Taka Michinoku, all these guys. So AJ Styles was one of these guys that I first saw on WWE facing the Hurricane, and then a couple months later I would see him debut in TNA when I would order the weekly pay-per-views, and immediately I loved what he was doing because of the unique style he had. He didn't have to get on the mic and talk trash and do anything. He let his in-ring work speak for what he was, what he could do, and that was great about him. And he truly, across 8 years in TNA, really evolved to be the head of the company to the point where once he left TNA, I kind of gave up because he was the face of TNA to me. He was the reason I would watch that show. And granted, his mic skills did get slightly better, but he went over to Japan, and I kind of stopped following it there when I fell out of wrestling, for a couple years. So, but now having him come to the WWE really gets me excited, and I couldn't believe, that's one of the most retweeted things and stories that's liked on WWE's Facebook that I've ever seen. It's pretty damn insane how excited people are, which clearly says to me that there's a ton of wrestling fans out there who know who he is and want to see what he's going to bring to WWE. Which brings me to the topic today, where it's, can they please use him the way he deserves to be used? I would hate to see him, just get shoved over to the side somewhere and get kind of walked over. Now, granted, I don't think that's going to happen. If he's in NXT, we're going to have, Triple H look over him, and he's going to be treated as well, if not better, than Samoa Joe. And let's talk about that for a second. If he goes there and, he's allowed to do what he does, can you guys imagine a triple threat with Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and AJ Styles? Match of the year right there written all over it. But if he goes over to the main roster, which seems to be the current rumor, which is why they made such a big deal out of announcing it, I could see a few problems arising. Quickly getting thrown down to mid-card, getting buried by a few of the top guys. Do we really want to watch AJ Styles face Big Show and Ryback? I don't think anybody does, right? So, I have my concerns, but I'm really optimistic that they're going to use his talent, along with the 3 other acquaintances, which I'm not even going to talk about in this. I'm just focusing on AJ Styles in his fullest ability. So I'm hopeful. You guys let me know what your thoughts are on, and what do you think they're going to do with him? Where do you think they send him? I'm hopeful that he's an entrant in the Royal Rumble, and I would love to see him, make some headway room and, kind of just prove, I deserve to be here, do some sick stuff in the ring, and really then show up on Raw. And I would love to see, him versus Neville. Make that his first ever match in WWE, because the crowd will, I don't think we could handle it. So, because we haven't seen that caliber of wrestling in WWE in forever.